So pretty, pretty, pretty to me. Before you left me, I was so pretty, pretty, pretty. Now you're gone. I was so pretty, pretty, pretty to me. Tell me, why'd you leave me? I was so pretty, pretty, pretty.
Hello everybody, it's ChronicallyMONI here. It's been 3 weeks since I did my gastric sleeve surgery. If you already haven't clicked and seen my previous video, click and looked at the video before this one. It will describe, I'll be telling you why I decided to do the gastric sleeve. So now that I'm past that, 3 weeks in, woo cha, it's been a journey. I thought the hardest part was going to be before surgery because I had my normal stomach. It was just like the drive, the will to eat right and follow the rules. No, I can't say that wasn't hard, but this post-surgery life, oh my goodness. So as I just said, kind of a catch-all, on May 1st is when I started the partial liquid diet that I was on, and I could eat 1 healthy meal and 2 protein shakes a day, and I was 363 pounds that day when I started. And then on May 15th, I transitioned over to full liquid, so all protein shakes and broth, until the day before my surgery, which was May 28th. May 28th, I then had to do all liquids, clear liquids. And then May 29th, I did surgery. So on the morning of surgery, I weighed 336 pounds, which was, so basically I dropped almost 30 pounds before surgery, which was great. I personally, like, it's hard to see the change sometimes. Like, I have to take pictures and so forth to kind of see it. I see it in my face, but you know, numbers don't lie. So the scale told me I lost, and then because of my lymphedema is always going to throw off my actual weight when I weigh on a scale in terms of like fat and everything. So I measure myself. I measure my arms, I measure my bust, I measure my waist, and I measure my hips. So I'm gonna post my measurements as well, so you can just actually see the numbers and my weight and the pictures that I took when I did those measurements. So going in surgery, I was 336 pounds. They don't recommend you weigh every day, so I weigh every week. Outside of the weight loss portion of it, which is great, everything else, honey, I'm going to talk about just what I've been going through, and I'll also talk about how it's affected my lymphedema so far. So in regards to how it's been, week 1 post-surgery was definitely hard in terms of getting enough liquids in. I went in for my 1 week post-op and I was dehydrated because my stomach is so small now. So and they told me to make sure I do protein first. So I was doing my protein shakes, and as long as I couldn't, you know, it would take me hours to finish just one like 11-ounce bottle of Premier protein. So I would just drink that instead of drinking other stuff, because I'm like, my stomach is super small. They tell me the protein first. Well, that left me dehydrated. So by the time I went in for my 1 week appointment, they were like, oh, you cannot move up to soft foods for another couple days. We want you to get 64 fluid ounces in. So I just was drinking water, drinking Gatorade Zero, water, Gatorade Zero. I would drink water every 10 minutes. I would take like 2 sips of water, like 2 real, so I would say maybe 2 tablespoons of water ish. Yeah, if you, because I was measuring them out in little medicine cups as well, so I could make sure I was getting enough fluids in. So though that over that weekend, because I went in on Thursday, they told me I could start if I was able to accomplish 64 fluid ounces Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then on Monday I could move to soft foods. So yay, I went to soft foods because I was getting that amount of fluids in. But then, you know, the idea that I had of soft foods, because I bought a whole bunch of tuna fish, because I could have fish, I could have like soft, like chicken, shredded chicken. I can do like cottage cheese, so other soft cheeses. Those are the kind of things that they recommend. Greek yogurt. I don't like any of that except for tuna and chicken. So I'm like, okay, I could do tuna. I could do, you know, lentils. I could do beans. So they recommend. So I was eating chili. I tried tuna. Did not work. The taste of tuna, all of my taste buds have changed. Tuna is not a hitter anymore. Chicken has not been. I've tried making chicken in a dip, shredded, a buffalo wing dip, jerk chicken. What else have I done? Just regular baked barbecue chicken. And chicken, it tastes so disgusting to me right now. So my taste buds have changed. And then like I've tried other fish. So I've tried tilapia and I've tried mackerel, and it tastes fine to me, but my stomach, it like gets there. I'll eat a little bit of it, maybe not even 4 ounces of, maybe 3 to 4 ounces, if that, to be honest. And it feels like a rock in my stomach. It just feels heavy. It just makes me feel, oh, like I want to throw up. So basically what happens is once I eat a certain amount, it's like if I do one like spoonful more than I should have, then I will throw it up, or I'll feel like heavy to my chest. But I skipped a whole big part. So in order to go to the doctor, I have to do an egg test prior to actually going in that first visit. The egg test, you eat 1 egg prepared anyway, scrambled, boiled, fried. So I scrambled an egg, and I didn't do well. Like I was able to, I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't do well because it's not like a pass or fail, but because I was dehydrated, they, you know, they figured my stomach was like smaller anyway. So I was able to get like maybe 30-40% of the egg down that day. So I did the egg test again that Monday. That was like my first soft meal, and I did a good 70-ish% of it, but I did realize I eat too fast. So that's something I'm still working on. I eat too fast. So it's like by the time I realized I shouldn't have had anything, it's because I was eating it too fast. Like I'm chewing good, but I'm eating too fast, and that's how I'm getting that feeling of like I did too much. So working on that still, even in week 3. So what else? I have also been so going into week 2, I was doing better with soft foods. I was doing chili. I found that like I did some like dips with like refried beans and beef and cheese, but I'm not like dairy. I really cut out a lot of dairy prior to this, and so like it was building up too much mucus. So I switched over from my Premier Proteins to like a vegan protein source, and I really don't do cheeses as much because just that dairy is not sitting well with me either. Oh, and this bruise is from the hospital where they were giving me the blood thinner. So I'm not over here falling and fighting. It's a bruise from the hospital still. But yeah, it's just getting used to this new stomach. Learning how to eat, what to eat. My taste buds have changed, like I said. So a lot of things that I thought I would enjoy or was excited to try in the soft phase, I have not been able to either keep down or just taste weird. So I've just pretty much been sticking to chili and soups, because the way she explained it to me, your human body does not produce protein, so you have to get that from an external source, whether it be plant-based or animal-based or both, whatever. You have to get it from an external source. And if your body doesn't get enough protein, it starts eating your organs, and it can choose whichever organ it wants to. So that's why a lot of people suffer from hair loss when they do this surgery and different things if you're not keeping up with your protein. So the little amount of space that you have in your stomach, you don't want to be adding vegetables that aren't protein based in there and taking up space that the protein could take up. So as far as something protein rich, like I said, I went and found some vegan protein pre-made shakes. So that is one of my sources. I'm going to make more chili, because chili, even though, you know, like it's really good, it was very tasty, very good, very protein rich, you know, you just get tired of it. So I wasn't going to make it anymore, but since I'm still discovering, I'm just going to make more chili. I reached out to one of my sorority sisters who is a vegan, just for some ideas on recipes with beans. So she gave me some garbanzo bean recipes that I can try out, because I also cannot eat raw vegetables. So a lot of the recipes you see on Instagram or Pinterest, and I've been looking to have, you know, raw onions, raw tomatoes, all this stuff, and I can't eat that yet. So it's kind of limiting on the recipes I can play around with when it comes to the beans. And I'm just not like, I like beans, but beans and beans on top of beans, not something I want to do. But I gotta get protein in, and I don't want to have to just rely on shakes. So I'm going to figure out some stuff. But as far as that, what else? How it's affecting my lymphedema. So outside of like the effects of surgery and losing the weight, I have not been able to wrap my legs, or I wasn't able to wrap my legs for like the first 2 weeks, just because bending over put a lot of pressure on my laparoscopic incisions, which I will show you. It just put a lot of pressure there. So I and it caused like pulling and kind of some pain and tenderness. So I wasn't really bending over that often, and I did not have home care in terms of somebody to like wrap my legs for me. My cousin visited, and my brother helped me, but they don't know what they're doing. So like my legs were being strangled by their wrapping. And when I say wrapping, I wasn't doing a full-on wrap that I've seen in some of my videos. Oh, it's about to rain, guys. I was just wrapping over my tributes, which I'll put a link to the tributes, and so you can see what those are. And you've seen them. I call them my muffin man legs. I have them on right now, one pair. So let me show you. They come up to here, and it's like a full leg thing and covers up my toes. But this is my tribute. I have one that comes up to just my thighs as well, to my hips. But I wrap over that with special bandages that I purchased. These, but I couldn't wear this because it was messing with my scars a lot, or incisions. But now I'm wearing it because I'm healed up. I'll show you. And so I have one here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 5 incisions. And so since those are healed, and I mean they're still tender, they still burn ever so often, but I can bend over a lot better now on my own. So I'm working on my legs. But what I did notice in the time that I wasn't wrapping my legs for those 2 weeks, yes, I would swell, and my legs are always swollen, but my swell rate, which was something I've always struggled with, went down drastically. Like if I did not wrap for 3-4 days and I was up and about, my legs, it would be hard for me to bend my legs. It would be hard for me to move. They would feel super heavy. Like you would definitely know. Along with my measurements, I take measurements for above my knee, just because those are usually my most bulbous areas on my leg, as just like a gauge, and they didn't change over the 2 weeks. Like they were, but my right was, I believe, 30.5 inches, and my left was like 30 inches, and they didn't change. So it wasn't until around my cycle started where I started feeling more heavy in regards to my legs. So I thought that was great, because I mean it means that I'm not swelling as fast as I have been in the past, which is awesome, because that was one of the things that I've always tried to slow down and help, because it's hard, like going to work. I work 10-hour shifts, my legs are down all day, even with my garments on, my stockings, it's, you know, kind of hard to like not swell. So if the swell rate is reducing, that means, you know, I won't have to be like so worried every time I travel and things of that nature. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Please subscribe, share, and hit me up. I'm always here to answer questions. Thanks.